I sometimes say foot pain is an occupational hazard of being a sport horse. So the advice that I would give to breeders on the pre-purchase examination is to prepare well. So what does that mean? It means that you need to produce your horse in a professional way. It needs to be presented well. It needs to be able to walk and trot in a balanced fashion, in a balanced manner. It needs to be well handled. You need to be able to examine it properly. It needs to be able to trot a circle well. It needs to be able to lunge in a balanced manner. If you're going to, if you have a nice horse and you're going to produce it in a nice way, have its heart and eyes examined in good time. Ideally have a screening set of x-rays done so that you know what you're presenting them, that it's not a step into the unknown for you and for the purchaser. And that's helpful from the point of view that you can also manage ahead of time what's going to happen at the pre-purchase exam or when you're getting your horse fetted. Like one of the big issues with sport horses generally is foot pain. I mean, I sometimes say foot pain is an occupational hazard of being a sport horse, maybe jumpers slightly more than eventers, but a lot of the horses that I see have foot pain, so look after their feet. So the advice to someone who has a 2.5-year-old, if you want to call it that, a late in the year 2-year-old at this year would be, it's a nice time or a nice opportunity to maybe get a screening set of x-rays done so that if you have any issues on the x-rays that maybe you can do something about them and with a view to adding value to the horse. Okay, sometimes there's a cost associated with something like removing chips, but the way to look at it is not as a cost. If you have a nice horse, what you're doing is you're spending money to add value to your horse. So I think that's the way to look at it. There are other opportunities to tidy up other things like sarcoids. I think that breeders and producers should be aware that increasingly the purchasers, these UK and American purchasers, are going to want to see horses or to have them examined under saddle rather than lunging them. And the reason for that is because occasionally we'll see horses that are completely sound in hand and lame under saddle, and that's, I think a lot of people will have experienced that.